Are we ready for a new world order?
What we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly,
yes,
we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. The new one, the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money.
However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected.
All right, the Great Reset is right around the corner. RFID chips only. That's what's coming. You will not be able to buy nor sell unless you take an implantable micro CHIP. And this is all according to Bible prophecy. And we're going to get into it. But before that, I'm going to open up, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and infinite salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. All right, and you heard it in the post-production video. Are you ready for a new world order? Which this has been the plans for the elites. You know, the elites have had this plan for a long time, but now they have the technology, the digital world, the digital age, blockchain, central bank digital currencies, you know, so on and so forth, to actually bring this thing to life. The image of the beast, you know, the beast system that is rolling out before our very eyes, man. All right. And you heard the woman say, which I'm going to play her part again. All right.
Dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly,
yes,
we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one.
Right there. They are about to abandon the traditional way of money, the use of money, and bring in a new one, the new system, which is going to be a totally digital system. It's going to be a digital enslavement where you're not going to be able to buy and sell. You're not going to be able to be a part of society unless you take this new form of currency, which is going to be by way of an RFID micro CHIP, a microchip. That's what they want. All right. And that's what's going to happen in the very near future. All right. And this is why you're supposed to be serving the Lord, man. Because nothing's going to be able to protect you in this time. Money is not going to be able to protect you. You know, your job, if you have a lot of money, you're not going to be able to access your money unless you have the chip. All right. This is the time we're entering into. All right. The Great Reset. And they want to get this done by 2030, which it could happen this year. It could happen, you know, well, we're entering into a new year, 2026, according to Esau's calendar. You know, could be 2026, 2027. They're going to push this digital currency heavy. All right. Something big is going to happen in the next year, few months, you know, 6 months, 12 months, you know, 24 months. Something major is going to happen, and it's going to shake up the whole world, and they are going to usher in this new world order, man. But Salakia, for the long intro, this is Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, so the vision is speaking loud and clear. The vision I'm speaking of is the vision that John the Revelator got in the book of Revelations, end time revelation, end time prophecy, Revelation 13, which we're going to get into it. And what John the Revelator saw is he saw people getting microchipped, man. All right. And you're not going to be able to buy and sell without it. So these other Israelite camps, you know, that can't see it, they sold out, man. Okay? They sold out. Or they've been blinded by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because the receipts are endless. All right? The receipts are endless. And I got this video I'm going to play as well. But this is why, you know, you're not supposed to be trying to chase after the bag in this life, man. Let me grab this. Okay? Which, you know, scriptures say money is a defense. So you do got to, you know, you got to go out there, you work, you do what you got to do. But if your whole life is focused on getting rich and famous or whatever, you're going to have a very difficult time when this microchip comes out. All right? And most people are just going to take it because they don't have faith. All right? If you're not of the elect, you're going to take it, man. But this is 1 Timothy 6 and verse 9. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And that's, you know, what happens, guys, you know, seeking after the bag, selling their souls for money. All right. And people fall, you know, especially these celebrities, they fall into temptation and a snare. They become drug addicts, you know, and regardless of how much money or achievements you've received in different industries, you're always going to feel empty because you don't have the Lord at the end of the day. If you do not have the Lord, if you do not have this truth, you're empty and you have not been set free. The scriptures say that the truth shall set you free, shall make us free. Okay? But, you know, which I'm going to also pull up the elder Mawatazak. He was going into it as well. All right, let me see real quick. Go to I'm gonna pull his video up as well, which there was a lot, you know, a lot of things is happening, man, concerning prophecy. And as we get closer to the end, all right, it's gonna be made known. All right, it's gonna be made known who the Lord is dealing with. All right. Yeah, this is a beautiful video too. All right. But 1 Timothy 6 and 10, it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Yeah, and you people are going to have many, many sorrows when this microchip comes out. Because that's what's happening. As this world is becoming more digitalized, everything's being more, you know, digital, becoming more digital. They're setting up a way. When I say they, I'm talking about the elites, the ones who rule the earth and have control over all the monetary system, all the money, all the music business and Hollywood, right? The small hats, we know who they are. Well, what they're doing as they set up this world, this digital world, is they're getting ready to digitally enslave you people, man. Okay? And if you don't have Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to get caught up in the midst of this prophecy and on the wrong side of it. Okay? Most of the people on the earth are going to take it. A lot of people are going to take the microchip because they don't have faith. They don't know what it is. They, you know, they're just going to go with the flow. Just like back in 2020, the whole pandemic, you know, which a whole bunch of information has came out about that it was all nonsense. It was all BS. Everything they were telling you was bullshit. But when 2020 happened and people were scared for their life, they just went down and took the jab. People were taking the crack scene. You know, they took it, you know, for fear of their job, fear of their life. So it's going to be something similar is going to happen, much worse, you know, in the very near future, something globally similar, you know. But it's going to be much, much worse is going to happen. And they're going to introduce this microchip, man. All right. And if you have the love of money, if your whole life you've been chasing after the bag and you know, you're trying to get rich, you're going to take that chip, man. 1 Timothy 6 and 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. All right. That's what guys do. Chasing that bag is going to lead to you taking the chip. Chasing the bag is going to lead to you taking the chip, man. All right? Let me play a little bit of this video. And before I play the video, let's get the prophecy. Revelation 13 and verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." And yeah, that's what's coming. All right? You're not going to be able to buy and sell without this specific mark. And that's the key part about it, buying and selling. So it's not some spiritual thing. No, the mark of the beast is a literal thing that's about to happen on this earth. And you're not going to be able to be a part of society, pay your rent, buy food, unless you take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID micro CHIP. That's what's coming. All right? And this is why, hey, we are extremely blessed to have Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in these last days, because as the scriptures say, my servant shall eat, but you are going to be hungry. You unrepentant Israelites that have not came to serve the Most High and his son, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to be left out here in the worst time of history. Because this is going to be a global catastrophe, man. Everything is going to change overnight when they bring this chip out, man. And a lot of people are going to be crying out, screaming, wondering what's going on. And they're just going to give up and take the chip because they don't have faith. And they don't know what's going on, man. These people are lost. So let me play a little bit of Elder Muatzazak. And
Anderson Owens.
Oh, and real quick, let me grab this before I play it. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's majority of the people, population of the earth, they're ignorant of Satan's devices. They have no idea what's going on. You have no clue that what they're rolling out with this digital world is to digitally enslave you. Okay? So people, you know, they see this technology and they do the oohs and the ahs. Wow, it's so cool. AI is so cool, and you don't realize they're going to use everything against you, and ultimately they're going to tie you into a digital captivity, man.
All right. Hell, even this woman, Catherine Fitz, she could be controlled opposition. All right. Because these people are speaking points of truth. Right. They're speaking these points of truth, but they aren't marrying them to the Bible. All right. So let's let this play.
And just to land back on the elder, because we know that the scriptures say the secrets are revealed unto the servants, the prophets. We are the only ones, starting with the elder apostles, elder bishops on down, that know the secrets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We know the future. Thanks be to the Heavenly Father and his Son and the scriptures, man. We know what's about to happen. We're not questioning whether the society is going to crash and, well, maybe. No, we know for a fact this is what's about to happen. There's going to be a digital enslavement. You're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to buy and sell. And they're doing this thing gradually. All right. The elders go into it all the time. The word gradualism. And that's what we see happening in the world. Gradualism. They're slowly introducing these people to this new age of technology, which they've been had this technology going back 30, 40, 50 years, man. They've been had this technology, but now they're releasing it to the public, getting people accustomed and ready to accept the mark of the beast. All right? And look, man, something major is going to happen where people are going to be begging for the mark of the beast. You know, when this society crashes, they're going to want answers, and the government's going to come out and tell the people of the world, look, if you want you want benefits, if you want universal basic income, you want money, you got to take the chip. And people are going to line up and take it. All right? But we have the secrets, man. We know what's going on.
the U.S. economy and financial system, is the leader globally in laundering dirty money. I said to this wonderful group, let's pretend there's a big red button up here on the lectern, and if you push that button, you can stop all hard narcotics trafficking tomorrow. Who here will push the button? And out of 100 people dedicated to evolving our society spiritually, guess how many would push the button?
I don't know.
One.
You suggest that the control grid is in part designed to manage the population.
So if you want to move people to a much lower economic footprint, having complete control is obviously very convenient.
Okay, so the bottom line is the majority is about to get a lot poorer.
So the question is, where's this money going? And one of the...
Hey, and what Tucker Carlson just said, he said the world's about to get a lot poorer. And remember, you had this guy, Klaus Schwab, he said we got to prepare for an angrier world. All right. And people are on edge, man. The love of many is waxing ice cold. People are on edge. They're mourning because they don't have money. Bills keep rising. Rent is going up. Food prices is going up. And your minimum wage ain't going up. Your wages ain't going up, but the bills is going up. So people are losing their minds. All right. And it's the squeeze. Everybody's getting squeezed, you know. So ultimately what they're going to do is they're going to introduce the world to this new digital system. It's going to start with, a digital ID, and you might get an app on your phone, but it's going to lead to what? The microchip. This is coming.
The things I've looked at is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built.
What would be the purpose?
I think if you're worried about a near extinction event,
that's basically where this title comes from, this heading, But anyway, let's listen. All right.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself, why do they got underground bunkers? Why do the super rich got underground bunkers? Because they know World War III is coming. All right. See, Esau, the elites, they know that World War III is coming, and we know that World War III is coming. It's you everyday dummies out here that have no clue what's going on. The super rich elite, they got bunkers, doomsday bunkers to escape the nuclear destruction, because they know a very a heavy prophecy is coming, which is going to be the return of Yahushua. The missiles coming. All right. They know war is coming, and they want war. The elites, that is.
Like I said, I didn't get all the way through it. I just got to about the first 10 minutes.
So thank you for doing this. I know you worked on this for years, but you get the sense, if you're just a sort of aware person, that there is a concerted attempt by governments around the world to digitize commerce and to digitize currency and to basically control people through money. Correct.
And that's the bottom line point of Revelation 13, chapter 16, 17 verse, and even on down. All right? You can't be controlled like these other groups be saying. The mark is spiritual. Okay? Can't be controlled that way. You can be controlled by them taking control of your monies. All right? Control of your bank account.
Yep. And money already controls people. But what they want is they want total control, to have it to where if you don't have this specific currency, which is going to be the mark, the RFID chip, you're not going to be able to buy and sell without it. Okay? So everything, and people already have the love of money. People do some wicked shit for money. People selling out, giving up the faith, all for money. So how much more when this microchip comes out? Because that's going to be the new form of money. The new form of money is going to be transformed. The paper dollars, it's already transformed to digital dollars, but it's going to transform to an RFID chip being implanted in you. Okay? This is what they want.
All right. Well, you won't be able to spend your money in your bank account because you're not participating in the technocracy or the digital identification. All right, which will eventually turn to the MOTB, which is the RFID technology. That's how you're going to be able to control people. All right. And people won't be able to access their money. This is why scripture says he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right? That they, matter of fact, let me get it.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're going
because the key point.
We're going to let the elder get it real quick, all right? We read it already, but hey, this is what's going on, man. If you can't see it, you've been blinded, compromised.
One is buying and selling.
Yep.
You can't buy and sell with anything spiritual.
Yep.
Like these other groups be saying, these sellouts. Because it's starting to be made very clear that you guys have been compromised. Okay? Right? And that no man might buy or sell. All right? You won't be able to purchase without this mark. So it can't be something spiritual. It got to be something physical. Okay? And this woman here, she's an insider. She knows what's going on. And she's been speaking about this. I first came across her after about 2020. All right? And she's been speaking about this digital prison. I'll back it up just a little bit more. Just so you can hear Tucker ask the question.
So thank you for doing this. You get, and I know you've worked on this for years, but you get the sense, if you're just a sort of aware person, that there is a concerted attempt by governments around the world to digitize commerce and to digitize currency and to basically control people through money.
Yep. And that's exactly what is taking place. That's the plans of the elites. Okay, which the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is going to allow these devils to roll this new world order out. But he's not going to be able to fulfill, all right, his enterprise, okay, fully. Meaning he's not going to get everybody chipped, but there is going to be a time of microchips where people are going to be getting tagged, all right? A lot of people. Let me grab this. In Job, all right, this is the book of Job 5:12. It says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And that enterprise is this new world order. And ultimately, the Lord is going to upset them, upset Esau's plan to get everybody on earth chipped. All right, the elect are going to be redeemed, you know. The elect have the mark of exemption from judgment. The 144,000, the repentant Israelites, all right? But see, Esau, he's going to be disappointed, all right? Let's read it again. Job 5:12, he disappointed the device of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And part of that enterprise is to get everybody on earth chipped, all right? That's what they want. And he's going to be disappointed, all right? He's going to be disappointed. Let me grab this as well. So we see what's happening. We know the Great Reset is around the corner, clearly. Let me see. This is Job 20. In verse 22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So while Esau is, fulfilling his new world order in the fullness of his sufficiency, it says what? He shall be in straits. He's going to be in a difficult position. The Lord is going to cause it to be, his plans ain't going to go as he thinks. Esau, it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly, meaning when he's about to what? Achieve his new world order. God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. While he is eating. So while Esau is rolling this technology out, the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, as Esau is getting people chipped, that's when the Most High is going to cast that fury of his wrath upon him, which is going into that nuclear destruction. He's going to bring an end to this system completely. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring an end to this system. And the Lord is going to establish his new world order, which is going to be governed by the Israelites. All right? True righteousness is going to be established, but this has to happen first. Prophecy unfolding, right? So I came across this video as well. It says, warning, the end of cash is here. The scary truth about the Fed now and the CBDCs. I'm going to play a little bit of this video as well.
There is a recurring charge labeled negative interest rate adjustment. Because the economy is slow, the Federal Reserve has decided that saving money is bad for the recovery. They want you to spend, so they are taxing your savings at 1% per month. Your money is rotting. It has an expiration date. If you do not spend it, it vanishes. You realize with a terrifying clarity that the money in your account is no longer yours.
And this is what they want to do. With this new system that rolls out, they don't want you to save money. They don't want none of that. Okay? They're going to be credits, man. You're going to have credits. And if you don't spend your money by the end of the month, they'll just take the shit.
It is a voucher system. It is a system of permission. You are allowed to spend it, but only on the things they want, when they want, and where they want. This is not a scene from a dystopian sci-fi movie. This is the programmable reality of a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. And the infrastructure to build this reality is being laid right now. It is called Fed now. Most people think we are just upgrading the banking system to make it faster. They think this is about convenience. But convenience is the bait. The hook is control. We are witnessing the end of money as we know it. We are moving from an era of bearer assets where you hold the value to an era of ledger entries where you hold a permission slip. Today, on Finance Prism, we are going to expose the mechanics of the digital dollar. We are going to explain the critical...
Yep. And this is a 20-minute video, so I'm not going to play all of it, but he says something heavy right here.
Banking system to make it faster. They think this is about convenience, but convenience is the bait.
Convenience is the bait. So as this new system is rolling out, they keep telling the world about, oh, it's convenient, faster payments, easier easier transactions, right? But really, what is it about? It's about power. It's about total control over the population. Going back to the Aaron Russo and Alex Jones interview. And if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. Alex Jones and Aaron Russo interview. A lot was exposed, but he went into the chip. And what it's all about total control. That's what the elites want, total control.
The hook is control. We are witnessing the end of money as we know it. About convenience. But convenience is the bait. The hook is control. We are witnessing the end of money as we know it.
Yeah, and people about to get hooked by that chip, man. By trusting. This is what happens when you trust in the shadow of Egypt. You trusting in Babylon. You trust in America. You gonna get tagged, man. All right, you are going to get tagged. So this is a good video to watch too. Finance Prism. You can watch this. All right, but this is it. We at the end of this thing. So I'm gonna go back to the elders video. I'm gonna let it play a little bit, and then we'll close it out.
Correct.
Correct. So that was my first question. Is this happening? Am I imagining it?
It's absolutely happening. And what's important to understand, it's been happening for a long time. In other words, this is like an invisible corral that's...
Gradualism. All right? Gradualism. I remember going back to the 90s. The government aid, you would get physical food stamps, to where when you go spend them food stamps in the store, you would get actual cash back. If you had the change that you would get from spending those paper food stamps, you would get cash back. They would give you actual cash. I remember that. All right. And then once they got rid of the stamps, what did they start giving out? These SNAP cards. Okay. Then you started to have around the same time these bank cards, debit cards. All right. Now you can pay with your phone. Okay. And then next up is gonna be the digital ID, and then the RFID micro chip. All right.
Been building around you for a long, long time, because how do a few sneak up on the many? Well, you have to do it very quietly and visibly before you throw the trump. So essentially what they're building, because it's converting a currency system into a control system. So it's really the end of currency. And what they're doing is they've been building the different digital pieces, and when it integrates and comes together, then you literally have a digital concentration camp. It's complete and utter control.
Otherwise known as the world.
Here's the thing to understand. You and I grew up in a world where there was mass media, where you were pitching stories, so you had 57 varieties of ice cream and you're pitching them to 57 different niches, but you're still pitching to mass audiences. What we're talking about is a system where you can surveil, control, and influence one person at a time. And with AI and software, each person can have their custom surveillance, influence, nudging, and control system.
And punishment.
Yes. Enforcement.
Because ultimately, if you control money, you can starve people to death. You can kill them.
Right. So go back and think of the pandemic. So if I say you can't go more than a mile from your home, and I say you have to be mandated a pharmaceutical, then if you don't take the pharmaceutical, I can turn off your money. If you go more than a mile away from your home, your money and your credit cards won't work. So whatever rules I lay down, there's a wonderful example. The head of the Bank of International Settlements is the central bank of central banks, and it's been running the process to implement basically an all-digital monetary system. And they have innovation hubs all over the world. They've been running this process for a long time. And in 2020, when the pandemic started, or it was October 2020, so the pandemic was underway, the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements was on an IMF panel. And in 1 minute, it's the first time in my life I ever saw a central banker tell the truth. I fell off my chair. And he said, the beauty of this is we can set the rules on how your money works, and we have the technology to enforce them.
Yep. So they're going to control what you buy, when you buy it, how much of it you buy. Total control. All right. So I'm going to close it out with this. This is 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. So you should be measuring the times, man. You should know the times that we're living in. You should be, awoke. Not like these fake, deep, woke people. No, you should be awoke to prophecy. You should be tuned in to the scriptures. You should be locked in with the elder apostles of Great Millstone, watching the videos, measuring the times, man. For everything that the elder apostles do, down to the brothers, we filter everything that's happening in life, current events. We filter it through the scriptures. Okay, and the Lord has us out here blowing the trumpet, warning the world of what's about to happen. All right? And we getting blood off of our hands, man. We want to be found worthy when Yahweh Shai comes back to escape this mass judgment that's coming. Because anybody who takes the chip is doomed. You're going to be cast into that lake of fire, man. But it says, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall you understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Remember, the Lord declaring the end from the beginning. That's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai declared everything that's happening in life. It was declared from the beginning of time. You cannot stop prophecy. There's no stopping what's about to happen. And that's why we don't give a damn if you believe or not. If you don't believe, to hell with you. You're going to see it for yourself. Everybody's going to see it for themselves, man. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end of cash is manifest. The end of Esau's world is manifest. Okay? We are in the end times, and if you cannot see it, it's because the Lord has blinded you. Right now, the Lord is only dealing with his elect. The repentant Israelites, the ones that have humbled themselves before the throne of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, have sacrificed their lives for the Lord, man. All right? So, yeah, the New World Order is around the corner. The system is here, man. The system of the New World Order is here, man. The system is here. Everything's digitalized. It only takes one major crisis to go on for them to introduce the world to this microchip. And we believe it's going to happen very soon. 2026 is going to be a heavy year of the digital age, man. All right. So, with that, call Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Lord willing, edifying to the hopeful elect. Till next time, shalom.